Thank you. I heard I'm the last one. So, CDO, sit down. How are you guys doing? Come on, you can do a little bit more energy than that. CDO, sit down. How are you guys doing?
Wonderful.
Great. Thanks for having me. Today, I'm going to be giving a little bit of a presentation on brand storytelling. Before I do, I just want to give a little bit of an introduction about myself. So my name is Mr. Casper Francis. I'm the CEO and founder of Raw Spark. Raw Spark is a 360 creative agency. We work with UOB, National Gallery, Own Days, the RSAF. And I'm also the CCO and the co-founder of a virtual metaverse music festival, Take Back the Nights, which is going to be the subject of today. I like to say, well, the human body is 75% water. I like to say the other 25% of my body is made out of pop culture. 80s, 90s films, art, music. So anything from Andy Warhol to Guns N' Roses to Queen and Metallica, Star Wars, you name it. Anything from the 80s and 90s, that makes up my creative inspiration, and it's made me the creative director I am today. So you guys must be wondering, why is a creative talking to you about storytelling to data scientists, data analysts, data officers, technologists even? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I'm here today is because I'm here to tell you that in today's day and age, storytelling trumps technology. Storytelling trumps technology, and I'm going to tell you why. Before you get up in arms with me, I'm going to tell you why storytelling works. It's because, and I'm going to tell it to you with a story of the evolution of a metaverse music festival. Because believe it or not, our saving grace was not in tech innovation. Storytelling made us one of the most successful music metaverse events in 2021. So without further ado, I'm going to tell you a story. Once upon a time, year 2020, we all know what happened, right? COVID-19 pandemic. We all been through it. For some of us, it was difficulty, challenges. For others, it was opportunity. We all had our mixed experiences. But for the music and entertainment industry, not so good. Now, statistics say that in one day, 64 events on average happen in Singapore. This includes art exhibitions, music festivals, music gigs, concerts, corporate events, conventions, anything. 64 a day. In 3 days, the COVID-19 pandemic took that away from us in 3 days. So it was a loss of income for musicians, technicians, food and beverage companies, not to even mention people offering IT solutions, data, payment gateway systems for events. Loss of income, loss of jobs. 3 days. But as creatives, we weren't going to throw in the towel and take it lying down. We wanted to come up with a solution, right? So my business partner and I, Audrey, we thought of a solution to pivot digitally the events industry so that we could still bring back vibrancy and revenue to the affected businesses. Enter Take Back the Nights 1.0, brought to you by live streaming technology, video technology. What we did, we gathered musicians, artists from all over Singapore. At the bottom corner, you see Jack and Ray. So a couple of popular musicians, we put them together in the studio. We recorded their performances and we created music videos, or live music videos rather. We got bank partners, corporate sponsors, music event charities, and we had them conduct workshops, talks, masterclasses, and we turned them into video podcasts. And we had so much video content, we strung it together, we put on a web platform, and we streamed it for free to Facebook, Instagram, Vimeo, YouTube. In hopes of getting donations, then we could channel these donations to affected musicians or affected event businesses. We thought we had a winning model. We had 4 corporate sponsors pump in a lot of money, pump in a lot of content and a lot of workshops. We did 4 episodes. 1 episode was 2 hours. 35 viewers in 1 hour per hour. Look at those stats, right? And we were covered by 8 media outlets. Guess how much donations we got? Shall we do a bit of an auction? Who thinks 10,000? 20? Anybody? No numbers are so quiet. Okay, never mind. It's all right. I cut the bull, okay? Donations that Take Back the Nights 1.0 got. 4 episodes, 8 hours of streaming. I'm not adding any more zeros behind. Why did this happen? Because many others were doing their own live streams. Everybody else was doing other pay-to-view, free-to-view content. People were getting donations. But there was no one that was actually successful. We were just another live stream event. Nothing. So we thought to ourselves, creators, we didn't want to throw in the towel, right? We're always innovators. We're always thinking of solutions all the time. We never rest. We never stop working. So I was thinking to myself, and with my business partner, we were thinking of a more tech-driven solution. So we thought technology was going to be the answer. And what was the climbing technology of that day and age? Gaming, right? Fortnite, Team Fortress. I was playing Team Fortress on a Sunday, and I remember 2 o'clock, I thought to myself, why not let's host a music festival on a 3D game? So I called up Audrey and said, Audrey, let's do this, 2 p.m. On a Sunday, okay? She was sold. So in 8 weeks, we were going to put up a prototype for a 3D game experience, aka metaverse, right? Music festival on a 3D environment, navigationable by your keyboard and your mouse and your arrow keys. So we prototyped it. We used 3D design and Unreal Engine. Anybody familiar with Unreal Engine? We used Unreal Engine and 3D design to put together an experience, multiple stages, multiple musicians. They get to navigate their avatars from stage to stage using the arrow and the mouse key or the mouse. They get to meet their friends virtually like a game. They get to buy artist merchandise, drinks, to have it delivered to them in real life. So we thought we had a game changer because when we started it, we were so excited. 8 weeks in, we talked to a couple of friends and said, friends were going like, oh, this is amazing. This is a great idea, right? 8 weeks, metaverse, something new. Until we tested it out with focus groups. Guess what? This was the feedback. Casper is just another interactive website. You just control an avatar. Website's 2D, this website is maybe 3D. You see an artist, they log on, they navigate, they find a stage, they listen to music for 10, 15 minutes, that's it. They log off. My music programming was supposed to be for 8 hours. They could only do 15 minutes. Time does not equate to money in that scale. Because they said there's just another more interactive website. There's little to no meaning. There's no value. There's no purpose. There's no emotional impact. There's little interaction. So we went back to the drawing board again. And then we thought to ourselves, maybe the answer isn't technology. We could use whatever technology we could. We could use whatever innovation we could. But then it came upon ourselves. The answer was storytelling. So you see, the consumer plays a game, or they go to the metaverse because they want to experience something new, because they dream of being someone else. You see, I'll give you an example. It's like me watching Iron Man, right? Like, people want to be Iron Man because they want to go through his challenges, come out of a cave, come out, be a genius, and in hopes of saving the world one day, or bringing good impact. Your consumer thinks of that, and we take that for granted sometimes. And the only way we can make that happen, storytelling. You give them a story to believe in, to abide by. So I did that with Audrey, and we were thinking, you know what? We need to go back to our roots. Why are we doing this? And we thought to ourselves, Take Back the Nights is not a virtual music festival. We are not a live streaming platform. We're not technology. No. We're not the most innovative thing that's ever happened in 2020 and 2021. No. Take Back the Nights was going to be a beacon of hope, a symbol of hope, a beacon of light to people who lost their livelihoods in COVID-19. That was going to be our purpose. We were going to light the future. So that was our tagline, and that was our narrative. Because when imagination meets innovation, we can be a beacon of light and a symbol of hope to the world, and we are a celebration of boundless possibilities through limitless creativity. That was our story. Didn't matter whether we were a Metaverse Music Festival or a live stream. That was going to be our story, and we built it from there. Then from there, you start building an identity, right? So we put together a logo based on the design of a compass and a lighthouse. Why? Because sailors out at sea, when you're lost, you look for true north. You look out for the lighthouse to find out where the shoreline is. So we put those two visual elements together and created an identity. And that identity bled into the identity of the experience. So when we designed the metaverse, we had that in mind. We were going to design the main stage. This is the main stage. And it's designed like a beacon. Why? Because we wanted to create a safe home for people who lost their livelihoods, home. So I did this, and this ended up being the design of the stage. Music festivals always have more than one stage. This is the second stage. It's called construct. Nuts, bolts, steel barrels, oil canisters, oil cans put together. Why? Just because we have limited resources, if you have creativity, you can make do with whatever you have to create magic. Construct was the story of that. So enter stage number 2, construct. We didn't want to create human avatars, so we created an entire alien race. a superhuman alien race called Pathfinders. Why? Because they find their path home. And we gave them festival superpowers. So for $49.99, you could pay, upgrade, get a festival superpower, and instead of running from stage to stage, you could fly from stage to stage. Why? Because everybody wants to be Superman. Everybody likes flying. So we gave them superpowers. We represented the music industry by getting artists from all different facets of the music entertainment world. So we had electronic music producers, Inquisitive. We had pop artists, Lin Ying and Henry, who were signed to labels. And we had Jack and Ray again, musicians who represented the nightlife and bars. And we got all these musicians, we put them together, and we created a little bit of a festival across these two stages. We used motion capture technology to capture their performances. We put them on virtual sets so that we could bring their performances live on the metaverse. And we also represented the music, the MICE events economy by having live panel sessions with music events, entertainment, media, and marketing industry professionals so that we could channel revenue there as well. Creativity is boundless, right? So we had whales that flew in the sky. We had joyrides on stingrays just because we could. Because with creativity, you can dream up of anything. We had floating cities where people could fly out, view the music festival from the sky. It was crazy. It was like a world that you would never see, made possible just because of creativity based on storytelling. So food and beverage, they were also affected industries. So we hired them, we got them on board. People could order food in the metaverse to have it physically delivered to them within the hour. And what's a Pathfinder without a scavenger hunt, right? Leave words out. Puzzle it up all together. Go find keywords, put them, create a phrase, and then with that, they could unlock promo codes, access to secret parties, fun things. All strung together because of one strong narrative of light the future and anything is possible if you're creative. Most importantly, I'm sure we all want to know what the numbers were, right? No surprises here, no $30 bills here, okay? 3,000 peak users at a single time, all right? Sandbox or Decentraland on a Web3 platform would give you about 200 to 300 in a peak. We had about 3,000 peak users on our Web2 platform. $6,500 worth of VIP packages sold, so we had a lot of people flying around, not so many walking around, not too bad. Most importantly, in a day, 6-hour programming, $150,000 worth of revenue generated for effective industries. But you see, we are not the only ones who do storytelling. In fact, successful brands use a lot of storytelling. In religion, they use storytelling to teach you moral values. So brands do that as well. They use that to teach people to inspire action. Positive action for positive change. So Under Armour, I will, I want. That's the tagline, right? Because why? They want to inspire people to be better, inspire you to surpass your previous results. They're not just a sports brand, no. They create good fabric, yeah, no lie. But that's not what they really are. They are an inspiration to consumers. Apple, they're not just a computer brand. They invite people to think different, invite creatives to challenge the status quo. And they do this by inspiring great design. Disney, not just cartoons, not just Disneyland. No. They strive to make the happiest place on earth, and they do this with storytelling. So ladies and gentlemen, today I want to give you 4 questions that every brand should always ask before they start embarking on this. Granted, technology is important, but storytelling takes precedence. And if we want to start with storytelling, we start with these 4 questions. Number 1, why do you do what you do? And I don't mean this as the tech offering that you have, and I don't mean this as trying to get a profit-driven result. I mean, what is the problem you're trying to solve, and what is your personal connection to this problem? And that's an important question. So why did you start this brand in the first place? And it can be as personal as it can, because it starts from there. Right. Number 2, how will your brand impact the society and the community? Your brand wants to make positive change. It wants to make the world a more inclusive space, a safer, cleaner, greener space, a safer place, a more happier place. How will your brand do that? How does your brand affect change in that community? Number 3, what does the consumer feel or want to feel? Right? What are their dreams? What are their hopes? What are their aspirations? Build from there. That's another one. And then build the solution from there. And number 4, I like this one. If your brand was a person, if your brand was a movie character, who would it be and why? I like to say Raw Spark is a little bit like Tony Stark meets Deadpool. That's what I tell people. Maybe your brand might be a little bit different. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to go straight away to my first 3 takeaways, or my last 3 takeaways, right? Number 1, your consumer dreams of changing the world or being the hero. Your brand is the guide, okay? A consumer wants to be Captain America. That's what they dream of. They want to make the world a better place. Your brand provides them the values and the integrity to do that. The story is their journey. And last but not least, the product or service you offer is a tool that helps them achieve the objective. Okay? So look at the product or service that you're offering a little bit like his shield or the hammer, Mjolnir. Sorry, guys, pop culture reference. But the best way to make it. Second takeaway. I like this one. Technology is not the core. It's the canvas. Okay? Technology is not the core. It's the blank canvas. Now, the video, the design, the music, the animation, the data, the insights, those are the language. So those sit on the canvas, right? At the end of the day, the story is the core. The problem you're trying to solve is the objective. The data sits on top of that canvas, and technology provides the canvas. Last but not least, don't appeal to reason. Appeal to emotion. Because why? A customer's decision is purely emotional. I buy Under Armour or Nike because it makes me feel like an elite performer. It makes me feel like an elite athlete. Yeah, they make great fabric. I won't lie. But that emotion of buying that is a lot more important. And if you drive based on that, that will drive your solution. And ladies and gentlemen, that is why storytelling trumps technology. My name is Casper Francis. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. I've got a couple of minutes for questions. Do I take it on stage or do I? I can take it on stage. Any technologists here that want to? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, you guys want drinks? There's cocktail outside, yeah. I had my fill already, by the way. If not, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, sorry, we have a question.
So okay, that's amazing. Thanks for the presentation. Very simple question. It's a service-oriented culture or product or service that you're providing, service-oriented business that you're running. How can we work with the concept that you just shared? You know, if it's product-based, yes, it's been failed. Now, marketing is product or services. So service-oriented, like it's not a feeling, it's an experience.
Yeah.
How can organizations make use of
Storytelling?
yes.
So how do you position yourself as, sorry. Well,
Basically, like, I'm not from insurance, but I'm
yeah.
from privacy.
Okay.
Privacy is a compliance, right? It's
Yeah.
the most hated, like, nobody wants to talk about privacy.
Mm.
Like, on that subject.
Yeah,
Be it insurance or be it like, hotel or anything like that.
correct. So for like service companies, granted, it's a little harder, definitely, but the principles still stay the same. And it goes down to why did you start this service in the very first place. So if I talk about, let's say, I'm guessing cybersecurity, something that's, so let's say cybersecurity. Maybe because everybody deserves their privacy. Maybe because everybody deserves to feel safe. And maybe you had a personal encounter with that. So I would draw from that, and I would use that as motivation to create your brand story. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Transparency sometimes. So I understand if the data companies here, maybe you do what you do because of transparency. Maybe you do what you want to do because of privacy. Now, whatever that personal connection to it is, you build based from there, right? And then that dictates what data you look at, your insights, your how. So I always start with the why, and then after that, go into your methodology and your modality. Does that answer your question?
Any other questions?
Yes.
I'm Jared. So basically, I build 50 machine learning models a day. And I squeeze all my machine learning model into dashboard. You saw it just now.
I did.
Run real time.
Yes.
Now, this is actually a team question. How do you actually get new people in your team would think like that. The 4 questions that you actually had listed out on the slide earlier on.
Right.
Up to speed, you're able to actually speak to clients, to actually get them to actually think about the journey to a digitalization.
Right. In full transparency, my team is behind, so they can attest to this as well. So here's the thing. When you want to build a team and you want to think about storytelling, you start off by hiring a team based on culture, not on skill sets. Yeah, it starts from there. Why they do what they do, what they want to do. And then as a leader, what you do is you align those goals with that of your company. Everything will pretty much fall into place after that. Does that answer your question?
Well, yes, but hiring these kind of people is rare because we know that in tech, we have to balance the skill between skills and storytelling.
Yes. Yeah.
Then we need storytellers. We also need someone who is able to code and also people.
Yeah.
So, still, I will try to see how we can hire like that.
I mean, let me give you another tip. Like, people ask me what makes up a creative. I tell them a creative is not someone who, my team hears this, my team hears this so many times. A creative is not someone who can draw, write, make films. A creative is someone who looks at the world a little differently than the rest. And then from that, when you start from there, the problems that come up, or the problems that they can solve, are a little bit different.
Thank you, Casper. Any final questions? Or any questions, any overall for today? Yes, you can go. Thank you so much, Casper.